Quick question, what actually wins you the Ballon d'Or? Is there a World Cup at 19? A Bundesliga title and 73 goals in 63 games? 42 goals for the biggest club on the planet and becoming the greatest World Cup scorer of all time? Or just being the stand-up player on the team that lifted the Champions League? Here's the thing, every single one of those is a legitimate case. The problem is they're all happening in the same year, to different people. And honestly, I don't think the Ballon d'Or has ever really been who's the best player. It's a storytelling award. Voters pick the narrative that grabs them the hardest. So let's go through the 5 stories fighting for it this year. Let's look at Kane. He's near the top of the most power rankings right now, and it's not hard to see why. He put up the second highest goal tally in a single season of anyone not named Prime Messi. He won the league, he won the DFB Pokal, Bayern's first domestic cup in 5 years. Then he dragged his country to a World Cup semi-final off the back of the best season of his career. Sure, no Champions League, no World Cup trophy, but look at the history. 41 of the 69 Ballon d'Or winners ever didn't have both of those either. 11 never won either one in their whole career. Modric got rewarded in 2018 after Croatia lost the final to France. So even a runner-up finish was enough that year. And he'd also won the Champions League with Real Madrid that same season. Point is, Kane's resume is about as close to a full house as this race has. Club silverware, elite individual numbers, and a deep international run. Now let's move on to Kylian Mbappe. Most goals in La Liga, most goals at the World Cup, most goals in the Champions League. The guy topped every major scoring chart there is. And somehow people still talk about him like his career had stalled. That's less about form and more about the noise around him. The Real Madrid's dressing room drama, a fan base that turned genuinely hostile at times. But on the pitch, he was arguably the best performer at the World Cup, and he helped drag France to a semi-final loss against the eventual champions, Spain. Not a group stage exit, a genuine deep run. If you're grading this purely on redemption, a guy who went from written off to impossible to ignore in one season, Mbappe might have the loudest story of them all. Now let's move on to Lamine Yamal. Winning the World Cup is basically a cheat code for this award. Of the 17 Ballon d'Or winners crowned in a World Cup year, 7 also won the World Cup that same summer. Widening it to France's football's expanded historical list, and that number jumps to 12. So what separates Yamal from, let's say, Rodri, who also won it with Spain? Yamal's impact goes way past the score sheet. He's a walking goal and assist machine. But it's the stuff that doesn't show up in a box score that makes people stop and stare. And remember, this award loves a story. Teenager who wins the World Cup and looks like the best player on the pitch while doing it is about as good a story as football gets. Now, if you want individual brilliance and team success in the same package, this might be the strongest case on the list. Dembele was central to PSG's historic Champions League win, becoming the first player in the competition's modern era to score in every single round of the tournament, on top of being named League One's Player of the Season. This isn't a stat padding case. He was the attacking focal point of a team that won the biggest club trophy in the sport, producing goals and moments the entire way through. His semi-final performance against Bayern alongside Kvaratskhelia was a reminder of why the two of them are considered the best wingers right now, adding up 33 goals contributions in 40 games for PSG, plus a World Cup hat-trick, which he actually rated below his display against Senegal, saying he felt more effective in that game. His heat map tells the same story. He's everywhere on the pitch, covering ground most attackers don't bother with. And watching him on the ball is his own kind of chaos. He's generally two-footed to the point where he's on the record saying he's naturally left-footed but takes penalties with his right because he trusts it more. His dribbling, the shoulder drops, the step-overs, the fake shots leaves defenders guessing which foot he's even going to use. After a Champions League run like that, it's easy to see why he's in the conversation for the Ballon d'Or too. The only other name on the list who's already won a Ballon d'Or. His case rests on being the controlling force of one of the best club sides in the world. An FA Cup and Carabao Cup double, plus the World Cup win already mentioned above. He dictates tempo, controls possession, and holds the defense together almost by himself, which makes a strong case for him as the most complete midfielder in this race. He also comes back from a torn ACL, which makes what he did on the pitch even more impressive. City and Spain both lean on him in a way that's hard to quantify with a stat line. The knock against him is simple. He just didn't play enough minutes this season. But when he did, he looked every bit like a Ballon d'Or level player. And his World Cup only reinforced that. Now moving on to honourable mentions. Pedri, Messi, Bellingham, Diaz, Haaland or Vitinha. Any of them could realistically be part of this conversation. These 5 just felt like the strongest cases to me. So who actually wins? Well, it depends entirely on what you value. If you value pure output, then it's Kane. Or someone who shows up on the biggest stages for club and country, then it's Mbappe. or a teenager delivering on the largest stage in the sport, then it's Yamal. Or someone who won the Champions League plus a World Cup run, then it's Dembele. Being the engine that makes elite teams function, then it's Rodri. But remember, this thing is voted on by journalists scattered across the globe, so there's no clean formula here. It's generally impossible to call, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see. So thank you, like, subscribe for more of these videos coming.